This is Jonathan Aggie of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by former three-weight world champion Duke Mckenzie here at Jukebox, not the YouTube channel, which is doing very well, but your gym here in London. Tyson Fury, we know, is obviously coming back later this year. The rumoured opponents is, well, the front runner, it seems, is Arslanbek Makhmudov. What's your thoughts on that potential fight?
Well, that's a comeback fight. If it's a comeback fight for Fury, then it's probably a good fight. You know, because obviously prior to that, there was all talks of him fighting Usyk possibly in a potential trilogy, which you know and I know isn't worth anything. But the Makhmudov fight, it's worth something. I mean, it's a perfect sort of comeback fight if you want. So, yeah, if he can shift the weight and get yourself back into half-decent shape, you know, talk cheap ultimately. You know, you can talk up a fight all you want, but, you know, once that gown comes off and people get a look at him and see what physical shape he's in, then, you know, the camera doesn't lie. So if you can get yourself back in shape, then that's the perfect comeback fight.
I spoke to John Fury about 2 weeks ago in Germany, and he said, being honest, he's concerned. He's got his concerns about Tyson coming back. He said, at 37 years old, he's not going to be the same as he was 5 years ago. But he still said that there's people out there that Tyson can beat. There's Fabio Wardley, there's other guys. What version of Tyson Fury are you expecting in this latest comeback?
Again, if you look at his physique, there's been snippets of him training. You know, he's piled on a whole load of weight. So now he's got to get in training for training. First he's got to shift that weight, then he's got to get fit, and then he's got to fight. So, I mean, Makhmudov is a big guy in himself, and he will have to do the same to a degree. But Makhmudov has been active. Now, Fury hasn't boxed for, what's it now, over a year? Yeah. Maybe a year and a half. That's a long time to be away from the sport. But Makhmudov would be the perfect comeback fight for Tyson Fury to probably take. You know, and you can tell a lot from this next fight. Let's wait and see what happens in the Makhmudov fight. Let's see what Tyson Fury turns up.
You said Usyk against Ruiz doesn't make sense. Tony Bellew's floated the idea of Fury against Ruiz as a comeback opponent. Is that a better opponent to take than Makhmudov, or do you think Makhmudov's the ideal opponent?
No, I think Makhmudov would be a more suited, ideal opponent, only because Ruiz is short in stature, could make Fury look quite bad. You know, because he likes to fiddle and mess around, and I don't think Ruiz fights with any real urgency to his sort of work. So no, I'd go for Makhmudov, who's bigger. But Makhmudov, you know, he can bang a little bit, and he'll be up for the fight, and for the first probably 6 rounds, he'll be in the fight.
There's been a lot of talk about Fury against Fabio Wardley later this year. What's your thoughts on that?
Bad move. Fabio Wardley is not a comeback fight. You don't take that guy as a comeback fight. You need activity if you're going to even stand a chance of beating him, you know, which I've stated previously. I wouldn't, you know, everybody knows this isn't Tyson Fury of old. This is an old Tyson Fury that we're looking at now. So, you know, he has to be very selective in who he picks. You can't call Fabio Wardley out. It's the wrong move. That's just my opinion.
Sure. Could he fight him, say he has a comeback fight, potentially Makhmudov, and then fight Wardley? Or do you think he should have maybe 2 or 3 and then get in there with Wardley?
Yeah, two or three. Again, this is just my opinion. 2 or 3 fights if he's going to even stand a chance against Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley right now, as I've said previously, is the only one that's going to give Alexander Usyk a fight. I said that over a year ago, because that guy doesn't know how to lose. He's unbeaten. He hits hard. He takes you out early or he takes you out late. So he should be the president of the Who Needs Him club right now. I wouldn't be calling out Fabio Wardley if I was him. I'd leave him alone. I'd avoid that boy like the plague, only because he is a wrecking ball.
Just a few last ones. Next week is a big week of boxing over here, over in New York. Yeah. Let's start with over here. Yeah. Josh Kelly is fighting for a world title against Murtazaliev. Yeah. A lot of people believe that Murtazaliev's the favourite going in. What's your thoughts? Do you think Kelly can pull this off?
Yeah, he can pull it off. Josh Kelly can pull it off, almost certainly. You know, He's if nothing else, he's a good boxer, Josh Kelly. If he can stick to his boxing and not get drawn into a dogfight with this guy, he's got every chance of pulling it off. He's got hometown advantage. He's not having to travel for the fight, which means a lot when you're fighting for a world title, whether you get hometown advantage or if you're fighting the other guy in your backyard. So he's got hometown advantage. So he'll be pretty upbeat and full of confidence. If he can box to orders, he's got every chance of pulling it off. I'm not saying he will pull it off, but he's got every chance of pulling it off because they're giving him every opportunity to do that.
And the same night, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez are fighting for the super lightweight WBO title. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
Lopez and Stevenson is such a good fight. You got probably two of the best fighters on the planet right now going head to head. They're both the right side of 30, under the age of 30 years of age. As a gambling man, I'm going to pick Lopez because I think the defeat that he had in losing to Cambosis has made him a better fighter. I think for me, Lopez, he's got that little bit more grit about him, where synthetically with Stevenson, yeah, he's a lovely boxer. He puts, lovely southpaw. He's slick, but he's never had that real knockout KO punch. And you're going to need more than just pretty boxing to beat Lopez. With Lopez, what I like about him, he has a much more, should we say, he's mature now. He knows how to take fights. He knows how to turn it on in fights. He knows when to step on the gas and when to step off the gas. So for me, I like Lopez for this one.
We've got a Zuffa boxing card this weekend. Dana White's first boxing card over in Las Vegas. How much of a threat do you believe he is to Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, De La Hoya, all these guys coming into the sport? He's obviously just signed Jai Opetaia. There's rumours that he might sign Usyk. We don't know for sure. How much of a threat is he to the established promoters?
He has to be considered to be a major threat to all of the promoters because he knows boxing, and the rumour is he's going to model his new organisation on the UFC style, combat style of boxing. Same sort of model, and if he does that, that means he's going to have the best fight in the best. Now he's got the financial clout to rival anybody else in the world. So. Again, the proof will be in the pudding when we see what sort of shows he puts on. But he can't afford to slip up, can he? That's as simple as that. And I don't think he will slip up, which makes it better for the public to view because each and every card he puts on will be value for money.
Duke, appreciate your time. Thanks for having me down at Jukebox today, and obviously best of luck with Jukebox. Hopefully it goes from strength to strength. I'm sure it will. You've got a decent producer doing it, so best of luck with that, and keep subscribing to Jukebox.
Thanks, champ. I appreciate it.